From Bungoma Gongwa, Monbasa Mvita. Topic: War Room Stories. The War Room is a place where those who organize the army do their planning, assess the power of the enemy, the strategies of the enemy, and how to counter. And when they have done the stressing and the countering, they relay the plans to those who will effect them in the field. This is what also happens in the spiritual war, because spiritual war is very similar to the physical war. The side of the demon, or the side that is against our sides, also has strategies and hierarchies, and they fight using certain battle arrays. And so are those who are in the field. That's why you are told when you accept Christianity, you become a warrior, a fighter. It is warfare. Your well-being is warfare. The well-being of a country is warfare. The progress in your life entails warfare. Otherwise, without war, everything would go upside down in our lives. When I came from Nakuru, I said I had my problems there. I came, and as I told you, I came with the attachment of the problems. Still things were happening. And I was in dire straits. I would try to make people understand me, but it was difficult for them to understand me, because when you have got a tag, this one is insane, this one is acting like he's got insanity, then that is what is presumed that you are. So in that situation, a friend told me of a pastor who would come from Monbasa. He'd been a banker before, but he left banking to come and do the Word of God. I went to be with him, we would pray. There were many followers. And when there are many followers, the time that the pastor has when he is on the pulpit or when he's moving out is very little. So you have to try and get to him. But there are times when he would come, because he was holding services every day. There are times when he would come and there weren't many people. So after we'd prayed together for some time, after I had fasted, he had fasted, he had his visions. I had my problems. So I went to him one time and told him, this is my situation, understand me. I talked to him spiritually, because he could understand the spiritual aspects that many people would not be able to understand. I told him my problems. I told him of the conversation, mental, psychic conversation. Other people call it verbatim. I got to learn that verbatim is a situation where there are people talking, or entities talking to you throughout as you move on the road, where you are, the actual talk. Other people used to think it's madness, it's a mental situation. No, it is a communication. It's real time. And if you used to that, whatever they tell you happens, even in the streets as you move. They know where you are. Whatever activity they want to do, they'll do. Or whatever activity you want to do, they're able to read your mind and able to respond. So for that person who is communicating, he will see things in real time. But for somebody who does not know that, he'll look at him as a mad person. This person is having his imaginations. But if you pursue the imaginations, you will find they are based on realities, actual happenings on the ground. So we talked, and that prayer was there. But there was something that was troubling him in the spirit world. He realized that this place needed lots of prayers this time. So he was looking for a stronger team that will be able to pray and put down everything that was ailing this time. It's difficult for people because there's a lot of progress, and then somebody tells you ailing. It's not only this town, there are other places where there are worse things. But for the spirit of this place, he had been sent for an intercession. So we talked, and he told me he would like a team that will be really devoted in breaking down the bondages that could be holding this town. I was not an active participant in the prayer team out there because I would go for my prayers and come back home. Then he told me to fast and pray so that I'll be shown whatever will happen in my life. He told me many things. I told him of a calling because there was a time when there were communications and God communicated to me. And there was a time I told you of the light and all the rest of the things in the past story. So as things went by, I would get temptations, I would get whatever, and God would show himself in a mighty way. Then, one time I told him, whatever you've done for me, whatever you're doing for me, Lord, as it goes on, or when it will be over, I like to serve you. Because there's no way I can repay you. You've protected my life. You've protected everything. I'll not be there. If God protects your life and the lives of many of your people, how can you repay him? Don't have any way of repaying him. So I told him, give me a chance of serving you. And that's where I started. And that's where one time I was going through things and also through those problems in the communication, and the word battle axe came. I didn't know what a battle axe meant. I thought of a Viking battle axe and other battle axes from other places. Then as I was trying to find out the truth about the word, I realized battle axe is a man who God gives his wars to fight for you. He gives you the wars so that you fight for the glory, because sometimes when God himself presents himself, it's difficult for the common people to understand that God was doing it for our good. So he uses a human being, and human beings with weaknesses. God's strength is seen in people's weaknesses. If you are mighty financially, physically, or in any other way, all the achievements that you'll make will be your achievement. They'll say you're clever. You did it because you're clever. You're strong. You stop them because you're strong. You are able to buy things because you've got the money. So God uses weak vessels. So as it went on, I told him, I thought that was a good idea. We prayed, told me to pray, and he also prayed, and that was that. I told him about my problems, prayed for me, they started declining. And then as we were praying, one time you told me you wanted to be a man of God, a preacher. I told him, that is it. He told me, I've been thinking about this prayer thing for the whole town. Why don't we get together and then we shall engage ourselves into very serious prayers? I thought it was a good idea. I told him I would also committed myself to God that when he served me, when he's protected me, when he's done whatever he's doing, I will be of service to him in whatever thing he will want me to do. Totally. And that is when he came and prayed. We prayed, and he told me he was thinking of a team and we should start something. He said he was making arrangements. There was a time we would meet at the hotel in Bungoma here and discuss. That time he came with another pastor called Wafula too, a young pastor who was also interested in the proposed thing, form a war council that will fight against evil in the spiritual realm. So he came and told me we were to meet at that place. Oh, it's Jadelika. He would organize us to meet at Jadelika, and then we shall discuss this issue. But before he left, he told me God has shown him a vision, and when we were going to meet, there are two things that were to happen. If I was, and things worked out that I went there, I would end up being a preacher. But if I don't get a chance of going there and not be a preacher, he told me you will be a reformer. That's what he'd seen. So when that time came, things cropped up and I couldn't go. In fact, we could not be able to meet. That was the last time we called one another. And after some time, that contact was not there. Somebody came and told me he was also in need of prayers where we do business sometime, and wanted help from him. That's the time I called him. And from there I stayed like that, no communication, nothing. But from what was happening, things came and I continued doing what I'm doing here, this one. I had started in the beginning, that is after, it was long, it took a while when Pastor Alex came. That's when I started my first trial, something to do with the water. And he looked at it and he told me, these things of yours will get a lot of resistance. Instagram or the other place will get a lot of resistance. But if you choose to go that way, you'll have to have a strong heart. But my things will not work because of the reasons, you know. So I started, and after he told me that, one time I was doing a few things here and there, and those voices told me, why can't you do something for the town? Looks like because it's always taken I'm poor, I don't have money, I'm trying to look for money. So you cannot make money through YouTube. Who will give you money? You will not run viral. Do something that will be able to help the society. Those are the psychic things. And maybe out of it, something may crop up. I was not doing it for the money, but nobody would also not want money if it would come along. So I went along doing it. I would get my little money the way I get. With the problems with my phone, just the way I'm doing, I would make simpler things that God gave me. But that particular time when it came, because I had not thought of talking of politics, thought of talking of world affairs, I was dealing with just the religious things. I thought that was where I was supposed to stick. And that's when I got a vision. I was taking my daughters, I would take them to school nearby and come back. And before, when I was young, I did karate, I did some judo, I did all that. I was doing martial arts. Not to the high extent, but I am a practitioner of martial arts. So when I would go to take them, sometimes on Saturday I would find a young man who had removed his shirt and he was practicing what he'd seen in the movie. Many of them would not go with the school thing, but he was doing some things, what he'd seen from the movie, very active out there. And I liked what he was doing. I didn't know it would come to that. And when the psychic voices came, the thing was, what happens? You are a servant of God. If you are a servant of God, you are a warrior. Do you see what that young man is doing? That is what I was told. Battle like so. And that was the very first time I thought of talking of karate, talking of Shotokan, because that is something I know. As I was thinking about that, I was shown a vision of karate, Kenpo. Then I remembered there is this style of karate called Kenpo. I don't know why it was not with me. And when I went for Kenpo, I realized what it is you can be able to find out on the internet. And that is where Kenpo started. You've heard whatever is happening and the other things that have been coming along. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that this giftedness or whatever is not just for a few people. The Bible says in the last day, there will be an increase of knowledge, not to one person. The other time, during the times of, who can I say, Buddha, Christ, and whatever, Muhammad, it will come to a person within an area, and the enlightenment would be attached to his name. But this is a time when changes are coming. The time when they say the last days is not the last days. I'm not ruling it out. I told you about the earth and whatever. But what I know from the history and the past, it is the end of a back term. I didn't know that altars existed until when I was being followed and I was being by psychic and sometimes physically. This is a battle of the altars. When I came to understand what the altars are, I realized during the end of the altars, there will be an increase of knowledge. People will do miracles. So it's not in my confinement alone to talk these things. There are many people. In Kenya, there are many. In Tanzania, there are many. That's why when God called me, things would happen and he would say, you are the co-rapper. You know, I like rapping. Sometimes people rap and you combine with them and you sing with them. And this thing of the co-rapper mostly came with this song of, as you walk through the valley of death, fear no evil. And the young man would rap, and I would be given things as per the rap. So it became a co-rapper. I didn't know what that meant, but I've come to realize in the things I'm doing, sometimes I talk and I'm able to analyze some things that may appear very complicated to others, make them something that one can be able to interact with and give the message because they contain messages. So that's how it began. When I talk of Nakuru, I'm not the only one who has had this experience. Mine has been longer, prolonged. There was a time before I knew these things were happening. There was somebody who had a chase like this one, but for a shorter time. I don't know if it was Maina Njenga or if it was Ndura Warwingi. A chase within Nakuru town and whatever, and you'll be told things went, there was tension within, and he went out and he survived an assassination. So there was a time when I was seeing through the internet and I saw something by Ndura Warwingi, preaching, talking, whatever way. I know when I mention such a people, some people will start saying, enlightenment is too many. It's not the regular people you think. Some with collars will give you that. Some without collars will give you that. Some from sectors that you are calling sinful will give you messages that will surprise you. Because it's a time when the knowledge is spreading. People will do miracles. There'll be a lot of knowledge. Enlightenment to many people. So you listen to whatever is happening. That is what is written in the Bible in the last days. So you'll get messages from many quarters, but if you also watch at what I'll be given, I will discuss it with you. I'm not the only one who is central in this. When God gives you something and you feel He's giving you something, move with it. Move with it. Give it out to others, because this is a time when there'll be an increase of knowledge. Knowledge that we did not have before. knowledge that is put into your head by God. We shall say strange things. We shall give things that will surprise people. Not because we are clever, but it's a time that God has brought, a time of enlightenment. There'll be an increase of knowledge in the last days. So it's last for back term, last for a happening. Just like the weekends, some count it up to Saturday, some count it up to Sunday. But when Sunday comes, it does not mean that the counting of days have ended. You start a new week, you start a Monday. So some things that are happening, this one is what happened is like an ending of one to an opening of a different one, real knowledge. Some of the knowledges I've been giving are very radical. In fact, people would say, he's lost the way completely. He's lost it. But later you come to realize we had lost it because of certain things that were happening. And that is our comfort zone. We feel so comfortable and comfortable living. But there are many people who will tell you different things, different visions, different enlightenments. This is a time when we shall learn many things. This is a time when you should also be open to whatever God will give you to give to the world. God is great. I know where this pastor is doing great work. My approach of things, I don't know if it is that reformer thing or if it is whatever is happening. I'll give what I'll give in the form that I'll give. And mine comes by the minute, by the second, because my mind is being read. So he does not give it. He brings it within that time, and that's when it comes out. But God is doing great things for us. Be open up to God. Be open up to faith. It's not the Christian faith only. I've been talking of different faiths. Have faith. God is great. Be ready for changes that you not expect. Some radical. Some that may appear crazy. Some that may think they're leading you astray. But God will be able to give you a way of seeing through these things. Because there are many enlightened people. Others may be enlightened, taking you to the right paths. Others may come with other plans, other thoughts, because this world there is always the opposing and the proposing. So those things will be there. But this is the time. Trust in God. Have faith. We are all warriors of God. Most important, you are a soul. The sun is a soul, you are a soul. And the word of saying, Jesus said, you are the temple. You count. When it comes to you, count first before me. God will show you things. If you open to him, he will open you in such a way that you will perform at levels you've never imagined. It is open for all of us. Receive the message. God loves us. Faith is the thing. That is my take for now.